They better. That's all I have to say. Joining me now is Scott Martin of Kingsview Asset Management and Fox News contributor and Cheddar CEO John Steinberg. John, businesses need those tax cuts. I mean, now that's lagging behind. I don't like the sound of that. What do you think?
I think we're okay. The market closed flat today. And I think the position that people have is that if we have deregulation or a lack of new regulation, that's enough. People want those tax cuts, but the fact that McConnell said that today and the market didn't trade down makes me think that we've got more upside when we see positive signals around the tax cuts coming.
Scott, what do you think about that? I mean, John made me feel a little better, but then at the end of what he was talking about, I remembered my tax cut wasn't there yet.
Yeah, and I think that's what consumers are thinking about, Melissa. I mean, that's where some benefit is coming too, right? And I think that's what's helped a lot of these consumer-related stocks. And I'll tell you what, you hear Mitch McConnell say this. If Stephen Mnuchin said this maybe next week and, backed up what Mr. McConnell said, that would be a major hit to the market. And I think the market just in general wants to see these promises fulfilled. So if they go back on any of these, whether it is even health care, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, John, real quick, you want a quick rebuttal to that?
Yeah,
I mean, if they go back on any of it?
I'm right. I mean, the tape doesn't lie. The tape's not down.
It's been 2 hours.
People heard what McConnell said. We're fine. He met with the community bankers today, talked about deregulation there. Market's happy.
Yeah, I'm going to remember that next time. Real quick, I'm right.
The best rebuttal I've ever heard. I'm right. I love it. All right, President Trump and GOP House members working to push their Obamacare replacement plan and trying to get conservatives on board as many groups still strongly oppose the bill. Our own Peter Barnes is in D.C. with the very latest. Peter.
Yeah, that's right, David. House Speaker Paul Ryan coming out and continuing to try to sell this legislation to members of his own party. He came out today and held about an hour-long press conference. He called it a town hall to explain the repeal and replace process step by step, which started with 2 all-nighters by 2 key committees, which finished up their work today. Ryan trying to clear up confusion about the process and rebut criticism of the legislation by members of his own party in the Freedom Caucus and other hard conservatives. He talked about a 3-pronged approach to this. First, a so-called budget reconciliation bill that cannot be filibustered in the Senate. Then administrative actions by the new HHS Secretary, Tom Price. And finally, another big bill with other changes like allowing sales of health insurance across state lines. Ryan urged fellow Republicans to stay the course.
This is the closest we will ever get to repealing and replacing Obamacare. The time is here. The time is now. This is the moment. And this is the closest this will ever happen.
Now, to try and rustle up votes for the legislation, the White House is hosting House members tonight and next week at the White House bowling alley for pizza and bowling. Bowling for votes, including members of the House Freedom Caucus. David?
I don't mean to correct you, but they have 2 bowling alleys
That's what
in the
I said.
White House.
Oh, they have 2 bowling?
Yeah, they have 2.
Yeah, you're right. There are 2
one in the basement, one on the ground floor. All right, Peter, thank you very much. Joining me now to react, not to the bowling alleys, but to the information about health care, former Senator Jim DeMint. He is the Heritage Foundation president. Senator, great to see you. So I listened to the whole PowerPoint presentation by Paul Ryan today. I was impressed by it. The guy knows his stuff. He's been working on this for 7 years. Did he address your concerns?
Well, we all agree that Obamacare is a disaster. It's getting worse every day. And I certainly agree Paul Ryan knows his stuff. I also know the House and the Senate, and I know the bill as it's structured will not pass. And we need to get this done. We need to repeal Obamacare. Yesterday, the president gave a lot of assurance that he wanted to work with those of us who have concerns. Our biggest concern is this does not push down prices. It doesn't create the right incentives for the market to work and give patients more control of their health care and their health insurance.
Hold on 1 second, Senator, because it does increase the health savings account. It increases your ability to put more money in flexible spending accounts. I mean, it does give individuals more control over the money they use for health care.
Well, I'll take you to task on that one, and I talked to the president about this yesterday. They expand the amount that you can put in a health savings account,
Correct.
but they don't let you buy a health insurance plan with it, and they don't let you put your refundable tax credit in your health savings account that would encourage you to shop for lower price
Right.
plans and lower price health care.
Listen, Senator, I agree. They don't do everything perhaps they should be doing if you're a free marketeer. But this is where the president comes in, because you did meet with the president. He's going to be meeting with other conservatives as well who have objections to the plan. Do you think, with the power that he has, not only the presidency, but of Donald Trump's ability to negotiate a deal, that he can work out a deal between you folks and the establishment Republicans who've come up with this plan?
There's plenty of room to work this out, and all of us want to get to yes. But you know, my approach to this is they've passed a repeal of Obamacare in 2015. They need to send that bill through so that the debate immediately changes from whether or not we're going to repeal it to how we're going to improve our health care system, instead of tying it all up in knots as we have right now.
But hold on a second,
So
because according to Paul Ryan, what he says is that if you did that, you wouldn't get it through the Senate or the House because you don't have enough votes. You'd have to get some Democrats over, because that would be more than just reconciliation. Is he wrong?
The 15 bill is just reconciliation. It just repeals Obamacare. But that paves the way to actually get Democrats to help on refundable tax credits, on the Medicaid reforms, on other things we need to do. But what they're trying to do now in the House will not pass. If it happens to pass the House, it will not pass the Senate.
But one
so
thing
we
about
don't need to
dragging
be
it out, Senator, and again, I'm sorry, but we've almost run out of time. I got to hit tax cuts, because the longer you play around with the details on dealing with Obamacare, trying to replace and repeal it, the longer we have to wait for tax cuts. And a lot of us can't wait.
Well, you're exactly right. They should have done the repeal bill 4 weeks ago when the president was inaugurated, and we would already be well into dealing with tax reform, which we have to do to get the economy going. And we're working on that, too, with the members of the House and the Senate and the administration. But we need to get the repeal done. They need a few victories in the House. Frankly, the Congress has been very slow to move. They need to catch up with the president.
Can it all be done by August, by the August recess? Both the Obamacare fixes and a tax cut?
It can if we don't play games. And I think right now the House Republicans are trying to jam a bill through that they know is not going to pass. And they think they can use pressure to cajole some of the conservatives. But I've worked with them enough to know that unless this bill is improved, it will not pass. We've got some improvement ideas that can help push the prices down. But if a year from now the premiums are not 30% lower than they are right now, then it will be a failure, and we cannot afford that.
Well, hopefully the dealer-in-chief can work something out. Jim DeMint, great to see you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Melissa.
Thank you.
Disney CEO Bob Iger is under pressure to step down from his position on President Trump's Economic Advisory Council. But Iger is standing firm that having the chance to express his opinion directly to the president is the best way to serve his shareholders. Scott and John are back with us. So, Scott, he got questioned twice during his conference call. He said, I made a decision, I thought in the best interest of our company and our industry, to have an opportunity to express specific points of view directly to the President of the United States. Doesn't that make sense?
It does to me. I mean, Melissa, this is an administration that has been exceptional in their outreach to CEOs so far. And I don't know why, as a shareholder of Disney or of the automakers, of tech firms, why you wouldn't want them close to D.C., especially to a president like this who's proclaimed his appreciation for business. So eventually, Bob Iger knows that he has to return value to shareholders. That's by being in touch with what's going on in D.C.
John, I mean, the president has been critical of ABC, and you know, they also, Bob Iger faced questions on the call about ESPN and whether or not Trump had been critical of ESPN as well, or all of their stations as being biased. And Bob Iger said he wants to be in the room where it happens, quoting that song from Hamilton, saying, whether he likes you or hates you, isn't it better to be there and to try and be arguing your case? I mean, what do shareholders not get?
Of course. And whenever I get asked this, people say, oh, well, what would you do if you were asked to be on some kind of technology startup thing with the president? Of course I would go there. You go, you're in the room, you express your opinions. If you agree to something that he wants to do that's against your ethics, then you've got a problem.
Right.
But you go there and you fight the fight and you say what you want to say. And I only the most extreme liberal would say that he shouldn't even go to the White House. That's just insanity.
Yeah, It was amazing to me, too, because this was a call with shareholders. They have a financial stake.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
and good for Iger.
How do they not do that math?
Iger is one of the best media CEOs. He's someone I consider an acquaintance and a friend. You know, good for Iger to push back on this and not accept this nonsense.
Right. Okay, we solved it. Good. Good. I knew it.
Stumping even the